Hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Ghost Education 101. I joined this week, as always, with my co-host, Philip. How are you doing, Philip?
I'm good. It's good to be back. Yeah, I know
It,
it's been a while, but it
I
just seems
know,
like yesterday to
I know it
be
does.
on.
And today's show, what a great show to come back to. I know we were supposed to have Karen Dahlman on today, but she
Mhm.
had to cancel and reschedule. So we will have her on to talk about Ouija boards in a couple weeks. But we do have an amazing guest in our place. I'm looking forward to this one. The topic today is going to be ghost hunting and sensationalism in social media. And
What?
the author of that
Is
is
that the
Gavin
thing?
Kelly. Yes. And if you haven't gotten his book, I got a copy of it. It's actually really good. And he thinks like you and I do. So this is going to be a great show.
Yes.
So
If anyone gets their little feelings hurt, well, I'm not going to apologize. Too bad.
yeah. It's definitely going
We're
to
not getting
probably
paid.
offend those. Yeah, true. It's going to offend those, in my opinion, that take this as a hobby, not as a profession.
Yep.
Type of thing. But yeah, so great topic going on. Before I bring our guest in real quick, just a reminder for anybody listening or watching, you could always catch replays on Ghost Education 101 on Facebook or on YouTube. And then we also air live every other week on our Facebook page or Parallax TV. And now you can catch 1 hour segments of our show on WDJY 99.1 at 9 p.m. Eastern on Monday. So I think I've covered
And
everything. Oh,
well, we are on Spotify also,
I always forget
and
about that.
and Amazon Music podcast, something like that. But
Okay.
the Ouija board interviews that we did, I don't know, how was that, a year or two ago?
A little over a year ago, yeah.
Yeah, they're on Spotify. So if you want to just listen to that in your car about Ouija boards, it's in two parts. You can
Mhm.
Karen
Yeah,
Dahmer is part of that interview.
yeah.
And
And I
it's
think that
really
one titled
fascinating.
Talking Board Historical Society is
Yes.
what that one is titled. So yeah. Yeah, that was actually a really good show.
It was
I
fascinating. I
I
learned a
really like
lot
that
about
one.
the talking boards, excuse
The
me.
talking boards, yeah, exactly. So anyway, before you and I babble and go down a whole bunch of different rabbit holes, I'm going to bring Gavin into the show. Hey, Gavin, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm reading this really cool book.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah,
I'm glad I recommended it to you.
yeah. Wow. And this guy on the back, man, he looked kind of creepy.
Oh wait,
I
we'll let
got
him
him.
finish reading. No.
Oh yeah,
That's funny.
it'll be a while if I want to read that book.
I know.
So how's everybody?
Good. Thank
We're
you for coming
good.
on the show tonight. Definitely a topic that we've been wanting. I know, like I talked to you about before the show, we do have, I think it's in about a month from now, we have a panel discussion about how social media and television is affecting paranormal research. So this is a
Mhm.
great introduction into that panel discussion. But I'm sure
Mhm.
some of our viewers, we're going to have one or two who might not know who you are. Do you mind taking a moment to, I know, to
Nobody knows who I
introduce
am?
yourself?
Seriously? Wow. I thought it was a household name. What happened?
You mean you're not in it for the views? No.
No, I'm in it for the money. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
we're all getting
Exactly.
rich. Mhm.
yeah,
I
aren't
know.
we though? Oh me. So now my name is Gavin Kelly. I'm a paranormal investigator, author, director, producer, cinematographer, editor, uh, close friend of Dustin, who just decided to jump on in,
Yep, I see that.
and author. I just decided to write this book for things that have been going on in the paranormal field. Been involved in the paranormal since 2012, and I mean, starting out as a paranormal investigator, not knowing jack or what to do, it's just really crazy that we did our first investigation as a nobody, and we actually wound up getting evidence. And I mean, this is back then when there was no faking, no staging, none of that stuff. We were just went out there and did it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Nobody knew what to fake back then. It's like,
no,
what
I
do you
know,
fake?
right? Well, I mean, we really, quote unquote, could not fake anything due to the fact that we were using the Sony High 8 Handycam, the cassettes. You can't fake on that. I'm sorry. And I mean, the best evidence that we got was a place that we went to called Carter's Mill, and it's an actual apparition running. I
Mhm.
captured
Whoa.
it. Yeah.
Is that on your website? I know you've got
Uh,
evidence videos, but I didn't.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
on the
okay.
website, phantasmicghosthunters.com. Yep.
Yeah,
Go
I
to
gotta look
evidence.
for that.
You can hear the EVPs that we got for our very first investigation. And you can also watch that video as well.
Mhm.
Cool. But you've got all kinds of truth or legends.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those episodes, is that on Amazon also or Roku?
Yeah.
They're on everywhere. So tell
Pretty
everybody.
much, yeah. Well, Truth or Legends into Your Hometown was created by my wife, Paula. She came up with the idea.
Mm.
And we came up with this, which is funny, over at Poasttown Elementary.
Oh,
When
yeah,
we
yeah.
were filming over there for Paranormal Journey to the Unknown, which is also on Amazon.
Amazon.
Mhm.
And we were just taking a break, having a little powwow. We had Chris Houston, we had Joel Myers, and Paula and me. And she was just like, you know what? I got a crazy idea for a show. And Chris was like, okay, lay it on us. What is it? She goes, Truth or Legends in Your Hometown. I'm like, ooh, that title's cool.
Yeah.
And then she had to explain what it was. And basically what it is we take, I'm going to probably get this wrong. Is it 28 teams in 20 states? Or is it the other way around? 28 teams in 20 states.
Mm.
And basically what it is each team, say like with what the first episode we did was Wisconsin and Tennessee. So each team had 4 locations that they had to go investigate.
Mhm.
They do their evidence review with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They do their filming and all that. And then they call us and say, hey, we're done with these locations. Come on out. So we wind up going to each of those 4 locations. We shoot
Oh,
the
wow.
interviews with them. So we basically get a one-on-one with the team. And then we give them the opportunity because we have a case file. And we say, okay, we open it up and say, well, with all the evidence that you have shown us in the audio, photos, video, it's your turn to deliberate amongst yourselves. You get the stamp. You have a true stamp. You have a legend stamp. And then they're like, okay, well, it's true. So they write down on the case file, shut it. I mean, this whole thing, this has never been done before.
That's a
Right.
great
And
concept. I like it.
love it.
Mhm.
I mean, we've got it on Amazon. We're out on Paraflix, Google TV, Fire TV, Apple TV, Roku. And now I just got wind that it's going to be over the pond in the fall.
Oh, wow. Good deal.
It's TCL TV or something like TCL TV Plus.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be in Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, Canada, whole bunch of places. So basically, not only are we in the United States, we're going to be across the pond. And besides that, we're going to have Truth or Legends move to Peacock in the fall of this year.
Wow. Now, do these teams get to choose any 4 locations? Can it be residential? Can it be historic? Does it matter what they're investigating?
Well, the locations are not going to be residential.
Okay.
They're going to be basically ones that Paula picks out.
Okay.
Because she's a researcher and historian. So she actually digs into those states and finds out which locations are haunted.
Okay.
And she goes ahead and gives them those. But if the team actually has 4 locations that they want to do, not residential, then by all means, we'll let them do it.
How long do they have to do all 4?
Well, like right now, we're currently did a casting call for season 3.
Yeah.
And we're setting stuff up for filming in 2025. So they got until from September of this year? September of this year until May, June, and July of 2025. So they need to
hello, my team here in Georgia. I mean, come on now.
Yep. Yeah, I saw that casting call post and I was like, you left Florida off of that.
we already filmed in Florida. We filmed in Florida for season 2.
Okay.
Yeah, we had the Pensacola Lighthouse. We had the Defuniak Hotel, hospital. What was the other one? Oh, there's only 3? Oh, I'm looking at her.
She's your cheat notes.
Yeah. She's my cliff notes over there.
Now, does she do the intros to get the teams in, or is it up to the team to get into the locations? How does that work?
They do that. They
Okay.
actually go ahead and contact the locations, and I mean, it actually gives them practice of approaching, because she's going to be pulling the locations up.
Yeah.
So these are places that probably no one's ever been to. So it gives them an opportunity to go to the place and say, hey, my name is blah, blah, blah. This is my team. We would love to investigate your place. And we also want to do it for a TV show.
Yeah. When you say TV, they're like their ears prick up.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you done Georgia yet?
We have someone not contracted yet. We have contacted them, and it's 3 guys, and we're still waiting to see what they say.
Okay.
What? You know who I'm talking about.
Well, I'm sure we can do it better than them. So
yeah, I can't say who they are. I'll just give you a hint. 3 guys, Atlanta. Leave it at that.
Okay.
You can probably figure it out.
Yeah.
Philip's gears are turning.
Got a good idea. Mm-hmm.
Yep. We met them over at Scarefest, and I was telling them about the show. Yeah. And I'm like, we need to have a Georgia Atlanta team. And the main guy goes, hey, us. I said, okay.
Well, if they can't do it, there's 10 of us. We're the best around.
That's a lot.
Well, not everybody can always go to every investigation, so we have to have enough to.
Yeah. Well, the only thing is, I mean, you can have your entire team to do the investigation, or just when it comes to the reveal, we can only do up to 3 people.
Yeah.
Due to the shots. Because, I mean, we've done it with 4 and 5, and it just gets crazy.
Oh, yeah.
People getting blurred on the ends, and the ones in the middle are fine. And then try to mic everybody. Oh, no. We decided either 2, 3, 4 max if you have to, but we really would prefer, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So one question, moving on to some of the questions that I had regarding your book. I know, and this is going to be an interesting one because it's something I'm always curious about because I know my point of view on it, and we've actually done a show on it where we had a panel discussion on it, but you didn't cover orbs in your book.
I don't believe in orbs. No.
But what about the people who are presenting them as concrete evidence of this is the image of, what was it, John Lennon inside the orb?
Oh my God. I missed that one. Thank goodness.
Whenever I see a picture and someone says, oh my God, okay, this is hilarious. I had we went to French Lick Hotel in Jasper, Indiana. And they were giving a ghost tour. Okay. And the guide showed the picture of what looks like the mine, not really a mine, but it was a tunnel they had to dig underneath so they could go ahead and transfer like water and food and stuff across. And they have a picture, and there were things all over the place. And I kid you not, he said, these were all the dead people that walked in the halls or in the tunnel. I'm like,
oh no,
that was major dust.
Oh no.
Yeah, when someone presents a picture with orbs, I'm just like, okay, first of all, 99% chance it's going to be dust, insect, pollen, particles, water moisture,
spider webs sometimes.
I mean, in my lifetime, I have seen one orb, and it was at a house in the attic. And the thing is, this had a tail on it.
Like a shooting star.
Yeah. And it was round, translucent, had its own illuminous. I mean, it was dark where we were.
Yeah.
And this sucker was lit up. And it had a tail. So that, I believe, was a 100% orb
Yeah.
Mhm.
But all
Yep.
this other stuff, no, dust.
I figured you'd had a, because TV's to blame for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just got a video last week. Somebody, can you please review our videos? And I'm like, then we take bets on the team, dust or bugs, which is going to be, and then they want to argue with you
Oh, yeah.
every time.
You
And it's
weren't
like,
there. You don't know.
Mhm.
it's like, why did you ask us then for our opinion if you're not going to take it? That is so annoying to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So anyway, moving on to a more serious topic, because this is one that we
Oh, that
actually
wasn't serious?
encountered. I know. I'm going to try to be serious. Because we were actually filming a documentary and doing an investigation out in Nelson, Nevada.
Okay.
And it's one of the mines was shut down, and that's where we were investigating. But it was completely vandalized.
Oh.
With spray paint inside the mine and trash and damage and
That
you name
sucks.
it. And I saw you covered actually 2 chapters, one on vandalism and one on damaging property.
Mhm.
Let's get your opinion on that.
Are you sure you want to go down that road?
We can, because it happens more often than not. And
Yeah, it's sad.
that's what gives us I personally think that's what gives a lot of us a bad name.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, you've got trespassers that usually go in and vandalize places just because they can.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got, well-known YouTubers that think that they're, untouchable and kick the head off of a boo bear right on CCTV at the Bel Air house and think that they can just get away with it. I just don't understand why they do that. And the thing is, the way they are on camera is completely different when they are off camera. I mean, one of them took it was like one of those letter openers up on the mantle. He grabbed it and he started stabbing the boo bear. And then the other guy decided to do a roundhouse kick and knock the head off.
Jeez.
And I'm like, why? Why would you do that?
Right.
And then, of course, the owner comes back and says, what happened? They're like, well, we didn't do anything. It's like, really? There's cameras, right?
Yeah.
And they videotape it and put it on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a few years ago, they had got a video of somebody there on an investigation. She was stealing some things from the house.
Yeah.
And they went after her, and she's denying it. And it's like, how do you deny this? We see you putting it in your pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on.
Right. Yeah, because I know out in Nevada, it was Rhyolite. There was a friend of mine who was on the team that I was on at the time. He watched a video and they said, we're not supposed to cross because they have at some of the buildings, do not cross this line. And the guy who was recording it says, I'm not supposed to cross this line. But then it shows him stepping over it and going down into the building.
I got one better. I got one better than that.
Oh, better than that one?
Oh, yeah. This group went out. These YouTubers went out to the Bell Witch Cave. Now, the owner said, you can interview us. You can film out here. Once you go in the cave, no cameras. So they did their interviews. They did their all BS, whatever they're doing on the outside. And next thing you know, you see them walking into the cave and they're like, okay, well, we're getting to the point where I'm going to have to shut the cameras off. And they get to that one gate. He goes, nope. Kept the camera on and went all the way through. And they filmed the whole thing inside there. And the owners got wind of that, got pissed off, and they shut the place down. And that's why no one was ever to investigate there ever again. And we actually had a group that went out there and, I don't know, had to sweet talk the owners, but had to reassure them that would never happen again. And they kind of sort of have it back open again for investigation, but it's with a particular team. So they're in the resident paranormal team for that cave now.
Yep.
But yeah, but the thing is, these YouTubers, they don't care. As long as they get their footage, put it on YouTube, they don't care what they do. They don't care if they step on people. They don't care if they disobey the rules. As long as they can get their footage, that's all they care about. And they do that all the damn time.
I think it was the Bel Air house. Someone, I think she specifically told, no usage of Ouija boards, and I know who it was. It turned out they used it in the attic and, of course, put the video out. It's like, it's a simple rule, people. Don't ruin it for everyone. But but like you said, they're just narcissists. It's all about the likes and the views.
Yeah. Well, as long as they could get it first, they don't care about anybody else. As long as they are the one that gets the footage.
Because they're not going back, so they don't care.
Right. Exactly. And the thing is, if they go ahead and make up history, they don't care. They're doing that for views because they know people are going to flock to their video. And that takes me to the next subject: demons. Everything is a demon.
Oh God, yeah.
I've been in the paranormal since 2012. I've never encountered a damn demon, but yet these newcomers come out and they're getting chased by one. They're capturing it on photo. They're BS. That's what I say.
Who is it? Demon Attacks Ghost Hunter?
You know who it is.
I know exactly who that is.
And I'm just like,
it's always in the title of the video, demon. And then all the people have these looks on their faces in the thumbnail, like that.
Oh, you mean they look like sex dolls?
Oh my God, they're all so funny. I guess that's supposed to capture you on. Oh yeah, we got to watch that. Look at their face.
Yeah, they're like,
it's hysterical. Yeah, they're all like that. It's so funny.
Oh, I know, it's crazy. It's just nuts. I don't know. I don't know why they do it. I mean, one of the guys blatantly even told the owner, I only do this, put this into the title so I can get views.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty obvious is why they're doing it, because some of them I've actually clicked on the video because I wanted to see how are they putting that title? Is it in the video? Something in the, and nothing that's in the video has anything to do with the title.
Or it came across their spirit box.
Oh yeah.
It was trying to think what that village place was in Indiana. Something village. And it came across his recorder. It said demon. He's like, whoa, oh, it's a demon. There's a demon here. Next thing you know, demon of blank blank village.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
So who do you think's to blame for all of the sensationalism?
All the idiots that came over in 2018. Really hard to put the blame on who. It's just that all these other YouTubers started seeing that their content was getting stale. And instead of doing pranks in urbex locations and just doing stupid stuff or lawless stuff, they're like, ooh, paranormal. Let's jump on that wagon.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they did. I mean, we had a guy that started out in urbex, his name is Blank the Explorer. Yeah, okay, sure. He comes into the paranormal. He thinks that he's a freaking paranormal investigator. He buys all the gear, and he thinks he knows what he's doing. No, you don't. So yeah.
As soon as you see a K2 meter on these videos, there's your first red flag.
Oh man,
got your cameras going and all your audio, all your equipment, and your K2.
Yeah, God love him, but the show. Oh, the Low Files with Rob Lowe.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
He went ahead and gave him, he goes, here's the spirit box, Dad. And it was a K2.
Yep.
I was screaming at the TV.
Yep, I saw that one, and I was like, are there no producers, editors, researchers for these shows? No, apparently not.
There are, but they know nothing about the paranormal.
True.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, are they making money on YouTube? Are these? I mean, I guess they would have to be doing this junk. I don't know how you make money on YouTube.
The ones that are still established are. I mean, there's some out there that actually, their one video can actually rack up 1 million views.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are making money because they're already established. They've already had their channel. It grew. Went stale. They jumped into paranormal, so they have this huge following that is still there,
Mhm.
but now they're going to grab gullible paranormal people to
Mhm.
follow them. And a
Mhm.
lot of them will go, "Oh, I only watched them for the entertainment." Oh, okay.
That's why you're trying their experiments on your next
Yeah.
investigation.
Yep.
There's some good debunkers too. There's one I watched, the side eye guy, that just kind of ripped some of these people apart. I enjoy those.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Debunkers.
Yeah.
I'm appreciative of what they're doing, but the first one that came out was The Shape. And I followed this guy, and I saw how he actually ripped people to shreds.
Yeah.
Well, it's similar to the same thing as jumping on the bandwagon.
Mm-hmm.
Now you've got every Tom, Dick, and Harry coming out saying they're debunkers, and they're passing around the same regurgitated videos so they can put their thoughts on it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that right there is kind of annoying. I mean, it's like you've already seen The Shape do it, so now you got these other four doing it. And the
Yeah.
reason why they're doing it is yes, I understand they're branching out further because some of them are across the pond and you don't get to see them in the US. I mean, I understand that. But there are some that are basically doing it because they know that they can get views, clicks, and subs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as with the paranormal.
Right. And the saddest thing I've seen with those is some of them are really good and truthfully. And it's like, hey, that's, really, eye-opening on that aspect. But then others can be, I've known paranormal researchers who say they're afraid to share their evidence publicly because of these debunkers. They're afraid of being ripped to shreds for something that they're just presenting. Hey, this is what we captured. What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
And next thing you know, their name is getting dragged through the mud and just by sharing something
And
that
not
they were
just
wanting
by
to know.
one person, but by 12.
Right. Yes, exactly. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, with Side Eye Guy, he came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
just popped up and boom, he's a debunker. But I mean, he's really good at what he does. I mean, I watched all his stuff. I mean, he's really cool. But then you've got these other guys, which I went ahead and did research and found out that they were video gamers and they were, just ones who do videos on the outside. Next thing you know, they're debunkers all of a sudden. Seriously.
Yeah.
That
There's
right
one
there
that wears
shows
a
you-
mask. I can't remember his name, but he's
That's Shape.
oh, that is Shape. Okay. Yeah.
The hockey mask. Yeah, that's Shape.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, he's the pioneer. He started out. He's the first one. And I need to put those little animations together. The Shape says, and then you
Then
got
it
all
makes
these
me wonder
other
who
followers.
is that? It's probably somebody that we all know in the paranormal world.
So,
I know
Philip,
who- I
moving
know who it
forward,
is.
we need to change our show name to Demon Education 101. Maybe we'll get more views.
Oh my gosh, we'll go worldwide then. You have to add in some sound effects, some growling or something. Or maybe I could put my mic down to my stomach though. Did y'all hear that? Oh my God.
After you eat Taco Bell, yeah, that'll work.
My team knows all about my stomach growling at video investigations.
Oh God. Yeah, that's why they always say whenever you do an investigation, make sure you don't eat Taco Bell or eat anything that's going to make noises.
Yep.
So,
Any questions yet, Philip, or you want me to continue?
Well, I did want to talk about you went to the Battlefield Bash this year. Did you go?
last year.
Oh, last year. You didn't go this year.
This year we were filming.
Okay.
We're filming a new show.
Okay. Because I haven't heard anything from the Bash this year. Nobody seems to have posted anything. I was just curious.
Oh,
They all sign NDAs before attending. No, just
Well, probably by now they do.
yeah. I had a lot of friends that were like, "Oh man, I get to finally meet you in person." I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "You're going to the Bash, right?" I'm like, "No, not this year. We actually are filming for Unnatural, so we're not going to be able to make it to the Bash this year. Maybe next year, but we're not going to be able to do it this year."
Oh, for anybody that doesn't know, that's Gettysburg Battlefield Bash, Paracon, and in Gettysburg. They just had it. Was it last week? It was last week.
Yeah, last week. I mean, it's fun. We've done it ever since they've started,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really enjoyable. Networking,
Mm-hmm.
make a lot of friends, hung out with people. I mean, one
Yeah.
guy that we were in the same network together, and we actually got to meet face to face, and we got to hang out and everything.
Mm.
Mhm.
So,
And it's
but
for a good cause, right? The Wounded Warriors, something Wounded
Mhm. Yeah, to benefit
Vets.
for the
Yeah.
Pennsylvania chapter of Wounded Warriors.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so the proceeds go to that, which is really nice. I
Mhm.
donated a bunch of my doll T-shirts one year
Ah,
from
okay.
the giveaway.
Mhm. Yep.
No, go ahead with your questions.
Oh.
Uh-oh, here we go.
No, I've been looking forward to this show, and I did a quick scan of your book to remind me of what I remember reading in the past. But one thing that has always gotten me is paranormal tourism, because there's a big difference in offering haunted ghost tours to like educate people about the history of locations and the haunted history behind it. But there's a big difference in, I guess you would say, let's say I rented out the St. Augustine Lighthouse and said, I'm opening this up for a public investigation, pay me $200 a person and come do it.
Mm.
What are your opinions on paranormal tourism? Because I know you have a full chapter of that in your book as well.
Well, the deal is, the reason why I wrote about that is because it was a massive situation where a particular establishment started sucking up every single location every weekend, where
Mhm.
if you wanted to go to a particular location, you couldn't because they got it booked. And they were charging $140 a head or something like
Mhm.
that per person, and only giving $40 per head to the establishment, to the
Mhm.
building
Yeah.
or the historical building. So not only were they ripping off the owners of the location, then they well, alrighty then. I guess you didn't like that topic. See
I was
ya.
going to say that's his opinion on that.
Yeah, it's his opinion. Yeah, your opinion don't matter. But doing some research and talking to a bunch of other people, found out that the ones out doing the tours were faking evidence or faking activity,
Oh,
not evidence,
wow.
activity,
Mhm.
and making of history. So that way they can get a
Mm.
bigger crowd.
Yeah.
And people that really wanted to go to these places, well, they had no choice. If they didn't have a team, they're gonna
Mhm.
go with them, pay $100, and that really hurt us and a lot of other people because we couldn't book it. Why? Well, because they got it and they have it every freaking weekend. And the thing
Mhm.
is, I'm still trying to figure out how on earth they were able to pay for it.
Mm.
This company just came out of nowhere, started booking places. And see, I would assume that they would take the money from that first location, put it into the second one. It didn't work that way. They had 8 freaking locations booked.
Jeez.
And for me, if I had to book a location, you got to put down a deposit,
Mhm.
which is
Mhm.
basically half of what you owe.
Yeah.
Yep.
They weren't doing this. And that really pissed me off too, because I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Why are they allowed to do it and I can't? I mean, I
Mhm.
want to put together an event, but I want to put feelers out to people to say, hey, do you want to come and investigate and film with us on this date? Or would you prefer a different date? I mean, I want to go ahead and do this date.
Mhm.
And that way I can see how many people want to jump at it. And if they do, then I'll tell them this is how much it's going to cost. And then boom, I will pay it. But no, these places, they want you to put down a deposit for that date.
Mhm.
It'll kind of suck if you can't really get that date, because when you put feelers out, people are like, oh, I can't do that date. I got to work, or I got a wedding, or I'm going to be out of
Mhm.
town.
Mhm.
Then I'm out that deposit.
Mhm. Yep.
And I don't like that. But the other establishment never did that. They did not put any deposits down. It was part of their agreement.
Makes me wonder how these people are able to do that at so many locations.
Yeah. I mean, they had an entire list. Within was about a week. Hey, was it about a week when they put that entire list up? I can't say their name. You know who I'm talking about. They had all the locations every weekend.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, now you do. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, they probably come up with a business. It's all a business. It's a a business plan. This is this is how we're going to do it. It's a moneymaker. It's like a tour group. It's the way they're running the business. It's like tours.
Yeah, and they really don't. I mean, I don't think they care about the people that are sporking money out. All they care about is they're getting the money for it, and they can give them a good time.
Yeah, it's entertainment.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And then those are the places that overbook, and you have 30 people in a 10 by 10 room, all trying to capture an EVP.
Yeah.
God, that reminds me of a location that you only get to investigate the cellar for $500.
All right, come on. Where's that?
Alton, Illinois.
No. So $500 you can go in the cellar, huh?
Yep.
I'll let people go in my basement for $20. Come on.
Yeah, because they can't do the entire mansion due to the fact that it's falling apart. And they don't want you to fall through the floors, but still, $500 to go into a cellar?
That's silly.
Yep. Yeah, well, it's like the St. Augustine Lighthouse here. They wanted a couple grand for just one night.
Yeah.
And when I questioned them on it, they're like, well, we were on Ghost Hunters.
Exactly.
Was exactly what the person told me.
Wow.
I told you how to get around that is you go an hour before closing in the middle of the week, like I used to do.
Yeah.
With my body cam on, and then set my body cam down. I was the only one in there for an hour, and I got EVPs.
Well, for season 2 of Truth or Legends in your hometown, we were in Florida, and we filmed at the Pensacola Lighthouse. And we actually had the entire lighthouse. And they told us that Ghost Brothers were there before us. Okay. We still got to go.
Right. Yeah. They're more open to letting people in, but St. Augustine, they want a small fortune.
Yeah.
They want a small fortune. Yeah.
Personally, I didn't really care for St. Augustine. It was kind of cool to go all the way up the stairs and then race all the way back down, but I really didn't care for it. I mean, it was pretty.
Yeah.
I almost lost my hat up at the top. I took my gimbal and I put it on the edge, and because I'm scared of heights, so I kind of walked around with my gimbal, let the gimbal film everything. But I didn't see anything really with the St. Augustine.
Yep.
Yeah.
So with all of these, the need for likes and wanting to be famous and popular in the paranormal field, do you see that slowing down anytime soon?
Well, after a bunch of them have been get called out, they have slowly reverted back to what they used to do. Mr. Blank the Explorer is back to exploring Urbex. And, some of them are just slowly just fading off because the debunkers rip them a new one. Not once, but 12 times. And people are finally removing the horse blinders and seeing what these YouTubers, who they are and what they stand for. So, but there's
what
still
about
some
the ones that are no longer on television? Then they next thing you know, they're on YouTube when their shows get canceled. That's what I find interesting.
Well,
not to name any names. There's 3 different ones I'm thinking of right now.
I know.
Canceled, and they next thing you know, they're on YouTube.
And one of them, I had a talk with him, talking about why are you going down the demon road, buddy? You didn't do that on national television. Now you got to do it on YouTube.
Because you got to get the likes and the views to get paid.
Of course, we're actually when you get $360,000 donated to you.
Mm.
What are we doing wrong, Philip?
Well, I don't run around screaming and getting scratched and all that junk. I mean, like I said, you'll never see me on one of these shows because, I mean, that time that we got filmed by that production company, and can we do this again? But act more afraid and everything. I'm like, oh God, we already had told them we don't do that, but that's just not the way it works. It's like,
yeah, we actually during the time when we were filming Paranormal Journey Into the Unknown, we were approached by a network TV show, and they said that they were going to go ahead and fly us to New York. We would go ahead and do the interviews in a hotel, and they would feed us, makeup, everything, and then we'd fly back, but we would have a cameraman fly back with us. And I'm like, why? He goes, well, because he's going to have to film you in the location, you doing a reenactment of what you did.
Yeah.
You can't reenact what you experienced. I mean, you can, but it's going to look stupid. It's going to look fake. Like, yeah. And when they told me that, I was like, nah, thanks, but no thanks. And we turned them down.
See, but the funny thing is that I've been on investigations with people who react like that, and they react like they're reenacting. So it's like, I just was like, yeah, okay, you didn't experience something.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, did you? Wait, hold on. Did you? Oh, wait. Did you? No, too loud. Did you? Oh, no, dang, too much excitement. Did you hear that? Ah, perfect. I would love that one.
But if you look at some of the popular paranormal TV talent and look at their backgrounds, how many of them have an acting background? It's really interesting. One particular one even teaches theater,
Really?
at college. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Tell me who that is, because I haven't gone down that road yet.
Yeah. Well, it's a guy and a girl. Their TV show's been on for years, but he teaches acting. I mean, teaches theater. I mean, come on, really?
Wow.
Yeah. But there's several, even on Jack Zagan's show. A couple of them have acting backgrounds when you look up their bios. It's like,
yeah,
that tells you a lot right there.
That's when we need to do a class, acting for ghost hunters.
Yeah. If you like to be on paranormal television, come to our acting class.
Oh, you're gonna learn demonology 101 for your first acting class.
This is how you get yourself scratched.
I was gonna say how to scratch yourself without getting the camera to notice that you did it.
Look over there. Right. Oh, ow. Well, that was the one thing that really got me, with camera angles. And this particular show that I watched, and I watched a lot, but it was just funny because it's like, okay, this is the camera, okay? It's like, do you hear that? What was that? Where's the camera facing?
The person.
Them.
Yeah.
Why isn't it facing out? Or
yeah.
Do you see that? Camera's right here. What? I want to see what they're looking at. They did that for how many seasons? Cracked me up. I'm like, you never get to see what they are looking at or what they're pointing at because the camera is on them.
When we did this thing years ago, and I said, when I watch these shows, I want to see the room, the environment. I don't want to see the close-ups. And they said, but that's where the intensity and the what I forget the word they use comes from is from the expressions on the face. I said, but we know what we look like. I want to see what we're looking at. And
yeah,
it's just not the way they do it. It's just not.
Or it'll be like, they'll be like, "Oh, wait, dude! I swear I just saw a shadow. There's a shadow right there.
Yeah.
Where? Where's that shadow? It's right there."
Uh-huh.
Like, really? Show us the shadow. And then they show over and it's like, oh, it's gone now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was 5 minutes ago when I said it the first time. Yeah.
I know, right?
Or my favorite.
Walking by.
Yeah. I saw this, geez, it's been a couple months already, but the person denied it, but oh well. They were doing a live and just chatting with people, and all of a sudden you saw their eyes go over to the side, nod their head, and then a shadow go behind them. And then he's like, "Oh, did you see that shadow?" He's like, "There's a shadow in my house." And then he looked on the other side a few minutes later, nodded again, and then the shadow, he's like, "There went again."
Mm-hmm. He's like, whoa, wait, hold on. When you play this back, watch something walked on by. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting there going, okay.
One thing I just don't understand, when we go to investigation, we all have on a body cam first off, so nothing's missed before we get our DVR cameras put up. And these shows, they're all handhelds in the dark. Now, you're not going to see anything. Why don't I never understood? Why don't you have the whole place camera rigged? Of course, then they couldn't fake anything, so that's why they do it.
Yeah, it'll be staged if you do that.
And I mean, I get why some people want to investigate in the dark, but I still don't understand that concept. I haven't figured that one out yet. Investigating in the
dark, basically, you don't have to worry about sun shadows because the sun will create shadows all throughout the building. And you don't have to worry about that. Second thing, wildlife is limited. You don't have to worry about traffic, and you don't have to worry about trains or airplanes because it's at night. Everything is minimal at night. But if you try to do it during the day, I mean, we have done daytime investigations and we've got some cool evidence, but we've got cars, we've got honking, we've got drive-bys, we've got buses, we've got people screaming and shouting and babies crying, and you won't have.
I guess you investigate in more populated areas. We always go to the locations that are way out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, there was one that we did.
Still legal to go to.
Yeah, we did one that was in Owensboro. It was called. What the heck was it called? What's it called? The one in Owensboro. No, the one we did, was it the captain's house or something?
Oh, you're talking about
in Owensboro. Okay. Anyway, there's a house that we went to investigate in Owensboro, Kentucky, the Campbell House. And there's a bar inside. It was also used for meetings. And the owner told us, or actually not the owner, but the guy that takes care of the place, he told us that people that investigate, they will hear someone come out of the top second floor door, scream at you, and then shut the door. And he says a lot of people have gotten that. So we were down in the, what they called it, I forgot what they called the room, but it's got like all glass around it. And in the middle of the room, there's a chessboard. So I put the Tascam DR100 Mark III, which is the Cadillac of digital recorders. We're talking Big Daddy. And this bad boy can actually record 197 kilohertz, plus also has a low noise floor. So I put it on there, and we were sitting there and we were talking, and all of a sudden we heard what sounded like, the door open. And then we heard someone shout. And I'm like, oh my God, we got it. Well, upon digging into this piece of evidence, I realized that where we were sitting, it was a car with the window down and the radio blaring 2 blocks away. So that was really interesting how that actually did that. I'm like, well, sound does travel pretty far.
Yep.
Oh, he had a conversation. He had opinion.
He has more opinions.
Matter. Oh boy. He'd get mad.
I
Will
think
you
it's
go up
time
there
for a
and shoot the
treat.
dog? Well,
He's
tell him to
barking
stop.
at the ghost in your house.
Hey, don't knock it. We used to have one here.
Mm-hmm.
When we got the house, our bedroom, there was a daughter that killed herself in this room. Sister? Damn, I get that wrong. Sister killed herself in this room, and she was schizo. She had 7 personalities.
Wow.
And the thing is, when we got here, the door handles were set to keep whatever is in here locked in.
Mm-hmm.
So we did an investigation in this room with nothing here, and there's a portal up against that wall. I didn't really believe in portals until this, but I was sitting there, and we had the DVR camera on us, we had the SLS camera on us, a night vision camera, and something reached out of the wall and grabbed me. You could actually see something come out and grab me.
No, that's
So I think
that's fine.
Yeah.
Just
But
one
yeah,
time.
at band camp?
Did she go away? I mean, did she? Yeah, letting that one go. I mean, did that stop or what?
She kind of went away. I mean, we haven't had her here in a long time. Her name is Melody.
Uh-oh,
And the other strange thing is in the man cave, we have this, what looks like, I don't know how to explain it. I want to say it's a hole in the wall, but it's got a frame around it, like a window.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a piece of thin plywood. Now, the thing is, that had to be hammered in on the other side. There's a bomb shelter over there. So whoever hammered it
was in
died there. And we come to find out that it was a boy named, what was his name? Andrew? Alexander? Andrew. We think Andrew is back there because there's no way out. You're supposed to come out, but if you hammer it, how are you going to get out?
I'll be getting me a trowel and digging up in there.
Well, I put the FLIR up there, and I could actually see that it's 6 foot deep, 8 foot tall.
How old's the house?
How old's the house?
It was built in 1960 something.
1960 something. The basement was an unfinished basement at the time when that bomb shelter was there.
Very cool.
But yeah, we really want to rip that thing open, but I don't want to.
Yeah, because then you got to call in the popo because, if you find something and then it's a whole bag of worms. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't want to do that. No. He just
So
stays there and moves around.
I know we still have plenty of time, but before we forget to do it, I do want to talk about your upcoming book you have coming out in September. The Ghosts We Make, Exploration of the Power of Suggestion. So
Yeah, there you go. I was about to pull that up myself. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting book.
Do you mind sharing a little bit more other than the title about what it is? Or what you're willing to reveal to get people interested in buying it?
Well, one of the main things that that I'm going to have in there is I'm going to talk about, like you spoke about earlier, Ouija boards. The deal with the Ouija board is basically it's not the power of suggestion. It is the ideal motor. It works on the individual's intent. So theoretically, if you're in a location and you know about the history, that it's buried into your head. So like if James died there, well, you're going to have James in your head. So you'll be like, so who am I talking to? Your intent's going to make you move that toward the J. And of course, think about it. If you go this way and this way, that's Zozo. If you go this way, that's Mama. The thing is, I would love to see someone, or actually people doing the Ouija board, but I want them blindfolded.
Oh yeah.
I can guarantee 100% they won't be able to spell jack squat because they can't see how to spell and they don't know exactly where the letters are.
Mm-hmm.
And hell, just to make it even worse, if you think that they know the way the letters are, turn the board around.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So yeah, that is the thing that I'm always talking about. I mean, Paula wants to get one just to have one, or you want to try it?
I want
Mhm.
to see what all the fuss is about.
Yeah, she wants to see what the fuss is all about. And then, dowsing rods, that I'm on the fence with because
Mhm.
she uses them a lot, and they actually do work to an
Mhm.
extent. I mean, we went to a friend's house, and her husband passed, and we were trying to find his power inverter for his
Mhm.
wheelchair, and we went throughout the whole house. It's like, okay, now go ahead and show me where they're at, and it kept turning to this particular area behind the chair,
Mhm.
and we looked there, we couldn't find it. Well, the owner told us that it was in the laundry basket in front of her bed. Now, if you look at where the chair is and you shoot diagonal,
Mhm.
that's where it was. So it was
Oh.
showing us all along it was right there, but we stopped behind the chair because there's a wall there.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Yep.
And I had experience. Oh, Lord have mercy. We were at a place called Doe Run Inn, and I had a French madam sit on my lap,
Oh.
and Paula was asking questions, and I'm holding them this time. And she's like, well, do you like Gavin? They crossed. Do you want to... I better not get into this, huh?
It's after 10 o'clock. We can go X-rated.
The questions that she was asking, it was crossing all the time.
But did she ask, does he have to pay?
Oh,
Ooh.
no, she didn't ask that. But she was asking some interesting questions, and
You got a sensation of something sitting on your lap.
oh yeah, she's like, "Are you sitting on Gavin's lap?" Cross. Can you touch him on the shoulder? Yes, and then I felt a like that, and I'm like, oh boy. And she was like, so are you turning him on? Cross.
Oh my gosh.
And then she was like, do you want us to leave the room? Cross. And I'm just like, oh, okay, we're going to stop this now.
Yeah, I had something similar at Brushy Mountain in one of the cells.
Oh, really? You had a guy fill you up?
Well, he wanted them to leave and leave us in the cell together. It was pretty funny.
Oh, come on. I got to hear this story.
Oh, you can see it I've got the video somewhere. You can see it. It was really funny.
Lord. I don't know. She had a similar thing at Brushy Mountain where somebody threw something from the cell out of the cell and hit her.
Mm-hmm.
It was, which cell was it?
It was on the row that had all the killers in.
It was on the row with all the killers. I guess it was the redhead killer. I believe it was.
That's the
one where you were
cell
in?
block I got my love connection in. Yeah.
That's where you got hit.
The one where the guy smokes the cigarettes, when you light the cigarettes and sit them down and he'll smoke them. Yeah.
Yeah. He had this, not the same experience, but they wanted to lock him in the cell.
So they threw something at her to get her to go away because they didn't want her there, but they'll keep Philip there for themselves.
Oh my God.
I love that place. I love Brushy.
Oh
That's
yeah, Brushy Mountain is awesome. We let's see. We got that evidence, and then we started getting some. Did we get a Voice of Death Row?
I don't remember.
I know we were on death row, and I swore we got a voice or something.
I got that
Mhm.
shadow figure in.
You got a what?
I got that shadow figure in Death Row.
Oh yeah, we got a shadow figure on death row,
That's cool.
but we haven't released that yet.
Yeah, we got some really good EVPs there. We got a man singing a chorus of Bicycle Built for Two in the cafeteria, and then he whistles it. It was like, that's a song from the 1800s.
Somebody's
pretty
singing a bicycle for two.
Yeah, he sings this chorus, Daisy, Daisy. Yeah, you can go on our Georgia Paranormal YouTube and see it. It's really cool.
I'm trying to pull up my contents of the book that we're talking about. That's what I'm trying to do, and I keep typing in the wrong freaking password, which is funnier than heck.
Careful, it'll lock you out. So did you hear from any YouTubers after you did this book? Did you have any like nastiness coming through or anything?
No, because they really don't think it's about them. Even though I have their likeness, their idealism, and even their quote. I mean, anybody that sees that would know who I am talking about, but you know, it doesn't work that way. Huh. I don't know what's going on. This is weird. I can't pull up the darn contents for it. My program is saying that they are running some type of an update.
Oh Lord, no.
That'll be a while.
Lost all the contents of your book now.
Hopefully not Windows.
Oh, I don't know. I use a program online, Readsy, for writing my books. It's really good. I like it. Never had a problem with them, but they're doing something now. So I don't think I sent you the contents for that one.
No. Oh.
Yeah. But gosh.
Do you think what about self-manifesting EVPs? Think that's possible?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not even sure about that. I mean, the only way you can quote unquote do that is if you already did the pre-record of the voices on one recorder, and then you have the recorder that you're recording on. And when you're in a location, you basically ask a question. You know the answer, of course, because it's going to be on this one, and you just push play on that one and let the voice go, and you're also recording on here. That's the only way I can think you can actually do that. But that's basically faking evidence, faking activity. So, now the other thing is, on the flip side, manifesting the activity.
Yeah.
That's in the book. I know that much, because say like it's a good idea to go into a location blind, but these places have been so saturated with every Tom, Dick, and Harry going there. They all know the history of it. But if you don't know the history of it and you go in blind, then you can actually experience or encounter and feel things and come to your own conclusion. But if you already know the history, it's already drilled in your head. So you're going to go in there and you're going to know, you're like, oh, well, I hope I get to talk to James the ghost because he died here, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, this is the hot spot in this area. This is when this activity happened and things like that. So, I mean, you've already got that embedded in your brain. So you're hoping that you're going to experience that there. So you're basically going to manifest the activity because you're hoping for it to happen. And if you hear something like a noise, like maybe that's one thing I've been trying to figure out. How can something that has no mass, no weight, make the sound of a footstep?
Well, it's like Lloyd Auerbach saying, you know, that's telekinesis through thought forms.
Mhm.
It's like, they have no physical form, like you said, but if
Mhm.
there's an active consciousness there, then they're imprinting that what you think you're hearing into your mind through telekinesis or telepathy. I mean, that's
What,
one way he explains it.
wouldn't that also be considered residual?
Not if the consciousness is intelligent and active, and it's actively putting that telepathy, sending it to you.
Mhm.
That's not residual.
Reason why I said residual is because you mentioned imprinting itself.
Well,
If you're imprinting it, then that would be considered residual because it's imprinting it into the
I'm
environment.
talking in terms like the way a medium works. The information is downloaded
Right.
into the other. That's the way I kind of meant it. Not really.
Yeah.
Not like imprint, like stone tape theory kind of imprinting, but
Etching it in stone. Yeah, that's it.
yeah, because it's like, but how do we know there's not a form there that we just can't see with our human pitiful little eyes? Maybe there's another dimension where they are standing there and there is a mass and a body and something's like, we just can't see it. Who knows? I mean,
Yeah. Well, I've always thought, this is my theory, that we share the same dimension as them. So basically, this house per se, we are in it.
mhm.
They're also in it, but they're also living the same way they were back then. They're
Mhm.
walking around doing the same stuff. And if, there's been some construction work done where maybe the floors have been raised up,
Mhm.
well, then they're going to be walking through the floor.
Yeah.
But I feel that they're actually sharing the same space with us. We can't see it, but their dimension is intertwined with ours. And that kind of takes me to, why is it that every time we get an EVP, it's from somebody from the 1800s?
Mhm.
No, I've
That one
gotten
blows my mind.
EVPs from somebody that's alive in a home, but
How's that
there
work?
was extreme distress from the child that the EVP came from. They were in. It was almost like a projection of, help me.
Mhm.
But there was 2 EVPs from this child in the house, and the
Mhm.
house. I mean, she's alive, but in what was happening to her, this is that case where we had to call Child Protective Services.
Okay.
She was in distress, and we got her voice in the house while they were out of the house. So,
this child knows how to astral project.
did she subconsciously, was she putting out that cry for help, and it's lingering in that home? But because she was very, very alive.
It sounds like astral projection.
Mhm.
So, this is wild stuff.
Yeah, and we had that one. We were investigating a home, and this woman kept saying there was activity in her home. And 3 investigations later, no activity from any of us.
Yeah.
And we had one EVP on our last investigation, and it was her voice telling us to get out.
Oh, wow.
And the camera was pointed to her, and her mouth wasn't moving. And it was her voice saying "get out" on our video recorder.
That's almost poltergeisty, it's like she's projecting.
Yep.
Or the spirit was mimicking her.
Yeah, but there was no activity whatsoever in that home that we captured.
Right.
Yeah, that mimicking thing is one of the freakiest things I think to encounter, and for clients to encounter that calls us and they're saying they're hearing their voice or they're hearing their spouse's voice, and that seems to get them more upset than a lot of other activity does, is hearing their voice.
What about a doppelganger? We actually did a residential where the mother was walking down the hall and she saw her son come through the door, turn and walk down the hall. And she was talking to him. He didn't turn around and acknowledge her or nothing. He just walked into his room. When she walked all the way down into his room, opened the door, he ain't there. He was 5 states away.
Yeah.
But yet she saw him come in the door, walk down the hall to his room.
Then are we looking at a residual from a living person? I mean, now if that doppelganger had turned around and said, "Hello, mother," I mean, then we're in a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
But because we know human living people can make residual imprints. I mean, we know that. So I'm wondering if some cases of doppelgangers are some type of residual imprint.
I have no idea.
We don't know.
I mean,
because I've never heard really of doppelgangers interacting. Most you never hear of that. You never hear them like talking. It's always they see them come through, walk by, and
disappear.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
my doppelganger looks younger and thinner than I do. If I see him walk down the hall.
Well, I was told. Now, this was many years ago that there was a public group that went to Waverly Hills, and they swore they saw me on the 3rd floor looking out through the top, looking down into the parking lot. I'm like, no, that was not me. Wearing the same type of shirts as me. It looked like me. And that's why they thought it was me. And I was like, no, I'm 2 states away filming. Did you get a picture? They're like, no. I'm like, damn. That would have been cool. I would love to see myself there.
Now that's interesting.
That's because the camera was pointing to them.
Yeah.
I'd love to clone myself. Yeah, that'd be perfect. I could stay at home and do whatever I want, let the other one go to work.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Or clean or do laundry or
multiplicity, man.
We saw that where that got him. No.
Oh.
Yeah. We got 4 of them. Oh. And number 4 was weird.
You have more questions lined up, Heather?
No, I've gotten through all of my questions. And the audience, if you guys have any questions that are watching us, let us know. They've been quiet tonight, but they're watching.
Several of my team members, Sandra, Wendy, Jerry was on. Jerry's on vacation at the beach, though. What one thing was the most, I don't want to say scary because we don't usually we're not running out the door screaming, but the one impactful thing that happened to you in investigating that just was kind of like a life-altering moment. Is there one particular thing that happened that you can?
I wouldn't say it was life-altering, but we were at a place called the Massachusetts County Courthouse, and Paula went live on Facebook on her.
See, there comes.
Your opinion don't count. Paula went live on her camera or her phone, and I went live on mine. And we were basically walking around this courthouse. And I had my phone basically attached to camera rig. And we were walking on the 2nd floor. But let me back on up. We were in a jail cell previously, and we were live. We had, what was her name? Lori Johnson from Ghost of Shepherdstown. She was watching, and she told me, she's like, there's a face that's in between you and Paula. And people actually saw it. There was a face in between us. And then it just disappeared. And then she said, I'm being told you need to watch your back. I'm like, me or her? She goes, you. I'm like, oh, well, that's encouraging. So we left the jail cell, Paula was walking on one side of the building, coming toward me as I was advancing. The motion detector was going off, and all of a sudden, I got pushed down the stairs.
Mm.
You could see on her camera view, I go down diagonal. I got pushed down the stairs carrying a $4,000 rig. Words out of her mouth was, "Is the camera good?"
Yeah, of course.
I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you." Well, yeah, everybody got to watch me get pushed down the stairs. And it did freak me out at first, but then I'm just like, holy cow, I just got pushed down the stairs.
Yeah. I was like, how's that possible? Yeah.
And I felt it too.
Mm-hmm.
I felt the two hands push. And
Yeah.
I know because I have experienced that before at Old South Pittsburgh Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I was there with we were filming for Paranormal Journey into the Unknown. We had my camera guys out in a trailer watching on a DVR camera. And me and an investigator were walking the halls, and then we went into the x-ray room. Well, at first, he stopped, and he's like, dude, I can't go any further. He goes, I feel like there is a spiritual wall right here, a brick wall. I can't go through it. I'm like, oh, get out the way, you blank blank. So I go in there, and I put the motion detector on one end, digital recorder in the middle, and another one. And I looked around, and I said, see? Like that, of being all cocky. I was like, as I walked toward the door, two hands, boom, pushed me clear out of the x-ray room. My camera guy goes, did you just trip? And I'm like, dude, there's nothing on the floor to trip on. I got shoved out of there. So yeah, I know how that feels like when you get pushed. I mean, believe it or not, doing this as long as I have, I've been pushed, tugged, scratched, slapped. Gosh, what was the other one? The slap one was interesting. I've been bit. That's hilarious. That's a good one. Been tugged. Scratched was really good. I loved it when she got scratched. I was happy. She wasn't happy, but I was happy. We were at Malvern Manor, and we were in Hank's bedroom. And she had a camera in one hand and a meter in the other. I had a camera in one hand and a meter in the other. So our hands were full. And she's in there going, Hank, why do you taunt women? Do you get a kick out of that? I mean, what's your problem? And all of a sudden she goes like this, and she's like, I don't know what to say about this, but I have a burning sensation. And right on camera, I'm like, yes, you got scratched. And she's like, although I'm not sharing your enthusiasm, come over here. So I went ahead and put my camera down. I actually put the meter down. I carried the camera. And I went over and I said, well, what happened? And she showed me right below her bra strap, straight down. She got scratched. Boy, I was happier than a pig in cud. She wasn't.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Robin has a quick question. She wants to know, why do men come through on EVPs than women? More men than women.
That's a good question, but that takes me back to, why do we always get EVPs of people from the 1800s? I have no idea. I mean, I did come up with a strange solution. You're going to laugh at this too. A lot of people don't believe me until I actually show them the picture, but I believe the growls that y'all hear are not demons.
Yeah.
It's a velociraptor. Don't laugh. On Spangler Springs in Gettysburg, I have a picture of a ghost dinosaur. And I actually did research to find out what this dinosaur looked like, and I found it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've showed it to so many people. They're like, oh my God, that is a dinosaur. So that's why I came with the theory. I go, well, that proves my point. The growl is a velociraptor.
Yeah. Well, we have an EVP that we've tried to, we already know that it was like too far away to be someone's stomach, because it was actually on a display case in a museum on the other side of the room from where we all were. And we were always very good at marking, okay, that was someone's stomach, or this is that noise.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a growl type squawking noise.
Ooh.
and almost like what we would perceive a dinosaur would sound like.
Mhm.
And it was in the dinosaur room of that museum where they actually had dinosaur bones.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Interesting.
my theory is correct.
Yes. So I mean, we have that, and we truly, as our team, we believe that it has to be some type of creature or animal, and
Mhm.
if it's not, then I don't want to use the demon word, but it wasn't human.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's just so funny. I've had people say, you know what? How come we don't see ghost dinosaurs? And I'm like, I got a picture of one. They're like, what?
Mhm.
And then I show them, and it's just really bizarre. And they're like, oh my God, where was that? And I'm like, Spangler Springs and Gettysburg. And they're like, you've got to be kidding me. And I also have another picture, not a dinosaur, but a plank door laying on top of the grass. You can't see it with your naked eye, but the camera picked it up and you can see it. And I was talking to a couple people that actually, I want to say it like a ranger, I guess it is. And he said back in the days, they actually did put planks or doors on top of a hole that has their artillery.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I got a picture of it. I will send these pictures to you. You can see them.
Okay.
Well, actually, I'll probably, if I get time, I can probably pull them up on my phone and I'll show you when we end the show. But yeah, it's amazing that I actually got that. And besides that, we were actually filming with another team in Spangler Springs, and I have the camera. I'm filming his daughter, and his wife is filming me, his daughter, and him. And if you look toward the far right in the trees, there's two women standing there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Broad daylight, too.
Spangler Spring is where I had one of my couple personal experiences in Gettysburg. I was visiting, I was a film student, and I was actually taking photos. And of course, back then it was, the film cameras, and my camera stopped working. I put in a brand new battery, took it out of the packaging, put it in there. That one didn't work. Put another one in there. That one didn't work. And then all of a sudden I felt like someone grabbed my shoulder and pull me around like, hey, come here. And then when I got back to the car, the camera started working.
Wow. Are you
Love
talking about
all this.
Insta cameras were with the film?
This was a Canon EOS back in the late 90s.
A Rebel?
Yeah. Yep, the Rebel cameras. Yep.
That one.
Yep. Yeah. And I was a photography student back in college, and I took my camera everywhere with me, and it just would not work at Spangler Spring.
They didn't want to be on film.
I've had the same situation when we went to Farrar Elementary. The interview outside was perfect. And when I went inside, started filming the Phantom basketball game, I'll have to go into that. But I set a camera on one side and a camera on the other side to film the geophone devices. I had the Eddie on one side and the Phantom Vibe on the other. There was a big wheel in the center where I put a digital recorder on. And when it came time to go over the footage of the whole investigation inside, I mean, we experienced so much. There was a time when Paula ran up and down the hallway saying, I'm going to be a bad girl. What are you going to do about Mr. Principal? She goes into the principal's office, and I kid you not, she says she felt like she got slapped on the top of her hand with a ruler, and you could see the ruler mark. I had all this on film. When I got home, corrupted, all of it. Only thing that made it was the interview outside. Everything that was filmed outside, the drone shot, everything inside, nothing. It did not want me to take any of that footage home. 686 gig worth of nothing.
Yeah.
I was mad.
That's a common story. We hear that from so many people that that's happened on my body camera. Everything outside of the house was fine. Walked in, and then it was all blank inside. Yeah.
I actually started using the body camera, but I didn't put it on the front. I put it behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a Tickrus watch, which is with a big screen. I can connect my body camera to my watch.
Oh,
So I can
that's
actually
cool.
see what's going on. And I used it for the first time at Old Hospital and College here in West Virginia. And we were on the second floor in the hallway where Moses, was it Moses? She ain't listening. It was Moses, I think, that ran down the hall and jumped out the window.
Mm.
And I put motion detectors down the hall, and we were filming. Paula kept saying that she sees a shadow, or I mean a face, appear in the glass window or the door that's all the way down the hall. There's a little square window, and she keeps on seeing like that. Well, finally she was like, "Hey, if we see you, but if you do it again, I'll take your picture." Well, sure enough, we did it again, and she took a picture, and we could actually see the dude's face in the glass.
Mm.
But during that time, my watch kind of went out. The infrared went out. And I'm just like, what the heck? So I kind of reset it. And when I did, there was somebody standing behind me.
Hmm.
And I'm just like, look, there's somebody behind me, like that. And of course, when she looked on over, it was gone. So I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe I didn't see that, whatever. So the motion detector started going off down the hall. And then all of a sudden, the darn watch went off again. I'm like, oh, come on. So I'm like, reset. There was a belly button behind my head, and then a torso went up above me.
Whoa.
Somebody was like at least 7 foot tall standing behind me. And it was like this. And when I told the owner, Tanya, and she goes, that sounds like the 7 foot tall orderly that used to be here. And I actually saw him on the watch. And guess what? Here's the sad thing. It shows me on here, but it didn't record it.
Oh, no.
Yeah. We saw it. We all saw it. But it didn't record on the footage.
Mhm.
All you see is just what's behind me. And then it blinked out and went blue. Until I'm like, where'd you? Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That
heartbreaking to think of the stuff
Yeah.
that did not get recorded that happened. That's always a heartbreaker.
Yeah. Yep. It's crazy. It happens.
And they know when the
Happens to the best
cameras
of
are
us.
on and when they're not on.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, one thing a friend of mine told me, Paul Browning, he passed recently. And in his book that he wrote, he said the best idea is when you go into a location that you don't go in as an investigator at first. He's like, try to go on in there like you're working there, or you're painters coming in to paint the building. And you have all your stuff inside like the cans.
Mhm.
You have like your recorder or your camera in the paint cans. And then when you put them down in the centralized area, whoever is there might get comfortable with you as you're there to work. Instead of someone coming in there starting asking all these questions and then whipping out cameras and trying to film stuff. You're actually going in there like you are working there. So they kind of sort of would get comfortable with you at first. And then you leave and then come back and then you start taking all the stuff on out.
It's an interesting theory. Yeah.
Yeah. And we all go silent.
Nice.
Oh, I thought
I was
you were
just-
getting ready to ask a question.
Yeah, no, I was just checking the comments, and there's no questions in there at this time. So, but out of all the locations that you've been to,
I'm answering
what
them
has
all.
been your favorite? Because I know we all have a favorite location.
Oh, wow. Favorite? I'm going to stick with the Old South Pittsburgh.
Wow,
That's
interesting.
my favorite place.
So
Oh yeah,
close to here.
because I was running the Devil Jersey box, which actually is kind of like the Portal on crack.
Mhm.
And a lot of people don't know the name of the doctor at Old South Pittsburgh. And I got the full name on the box. And I had an investigator that was with us. She went, oh my God, nobody knows that.
Hmm.
And of course, there was, I got pushed out of the X-ray room.
Mhm.
I mean, that was the best one, really.
Mhm.
Oh well, okay, hold on. St. Albans Sanatorium. Forgot about that one. This is like the first time we actually took Paranormal Journey into the Unknown on the road. I had 2 camera guys with me. One of my camera guys thought he was big and bad and he wanted to do this himself, so I let him. He kind of walks on up the stairs, the grand staircase up to the 2nd floor, and my other camera guy is behind him, and he's like, "You see anything up there?" He's like, "No." And all of a sudden, he heard footsteps. He turned around and darted down them stairs and out the door. He was gone. So I wound up going up there, and we took everybody with us. We went toward, let's see, when you walk up there, you make a left is Jacob's room. And if you go diagonal, there's a room where the patient actually sat in the chair and looked out the window. And the chair is actually sitting next to the window looking out. Well, there's also a chair in the center of the room. And I took a temperature reading. The whole room was 56 degrees, and that chair was 82. Can't figure that one out. So the next day, we were getting ready to shoot my intro as I walked down the stairs talking about the St. Albans Sanatorium. And I just kind of peered into that room, just, wondering why there were 2 different readings. Turned around and started walking down the staircase talking about doing my intro. And then I felt what appeared to be something kicked me in the shin.
Ugh.
So I told everybody to stop cameras. Well, actually, now keep the camera rolling. I got down on the bottom step and pulled my pant leg up, and you could see there was a welt developing on my shin where I got kicked. So I'm like, wow, I actually got freaking kicked. Then we went up to the bird cage area where they actually take the patients on out so they can get fresh air. And I'm talking about the bird cage, and see how I always talk with my hands? Well, my camera guy goes, dude, look at your hands. And I look, paper cuts. And I was bleeding down my arm.
Whoa.
And I'm just like, they really got it in for me, don't they? I was like, you guys hang up here. I'm going to go down to the truck and see if I can find something to wipe this off. And they're like, okay, well, we'll just hang out here, shoot some B-roll and stuff out there. So I go through the building, down the stairs, and there's so many stairs you got to take. And basically, when you leave the birdcage, you go to the never-ending hallway. Because sometimes the hallway shifts. And it's like, did I come down this way?
That's freaky.
So I get all the way back out to the truck. I'm looking for first aid kit. I find it, and nothing.
That's cool.
That was wicked. That was wicked.
Playing with your mind.
Man. But they saw it, though. The camera guys saw it. I was like, what the? I mean, they were paper
hallucination.
Yeah, we all saw it.
Yeah.
And it was gone.
Patricia wants to know, is there anywhere that you have investigated that you feel that you have unfinished business with but refuse to return?
Nah. We always return to different places. There's never been a place that we refuse to go. I mean, nothing really scares us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got pushed downstairs carrying a $4,000 camera. Anybody that happens to, they'd be like, I ain't going back there. No, we've gone back there a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really scares us. That's the reason
Probably
why
why
I
a lot of
say,
these TV shows only go once.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like I said earlier, I've been doing this since 2012, and okay, here we go. Never encountered a demon. That would probably scare the teetotal crap out of me if I did.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Huh?
I think I dated one, but I've never counted one on a
Dated one. What?
investigation.
Oh, Lord of mercy. And see, that's the thing that really gets me is you got these YouTubers that are coming out of the woodwork going, oh, I've been attacked by a demon or I've been chased by a demon. I'm like, okay, here's the thing. I've never seen one, and I will admit it. I will
Mhm.
crap myself if I encounter one.
Yeah.
But yet these guys encounter it and they're okay? No.
Yeah.
They would piss
Exactly.
themselves. They would run and scream like little girls,
Mhm.
or the demon will rip their butts to shred and they can't tell the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or my favorite is that they get hundreds and hundreds of thousands of EVPs in one location.
Yeah.
Every
BS.
time they go. It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
I have
BS.
plenty of investigations where we get nothing.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There was I don't think it was a demon though.
No, but it was a evil.
It was something evil.
Mhm.
We were at a place called the Industrial Slaughterhouse in Fancy Farm, Kentucky. And it's an old slaughterhouse that's been turned into a haunted attraction,
Mhm.
which is just wrong on so many levels. But the deal is we went there because they were experiencing strange things. They had one particular room that had a TV in it. I mean, it was set up like a living room with a TV right there, couch right here. And the girl that actually worked in that room said that this is going to sound like something that you've seen on a movie. But anyway, crawled over the TV to her. She was traumatized. She was institutionalized
Mhm.
for it. That doesn't take the cake. Then there was a cage where people climb on a cage and scare the crap out of you. One person got bit right here, and you could see the teeth marks
Ugh.
on. Yeah. So we got called in to investigate the place, and while we were there, I had a screw about this big, and it had a chain attached to it. It was thrown at me.
Hmm.
We didn't think really anything of that. I'm thinking maybe it fell from the ceiling or something, but we wrote that one off. And throughout the night, just strange stuff started happening. The walkie-talkies went on, and we're in this room called the mask room. That's where all the entertainers get ready. Outfits, masks, everything. So we're in there, and the walkies go on, and it's a little girl singing Ring Around the Rosie.
Oh, Lord, no. Mm-mm. Wrong.
And we're going, okay, who are you? Where are you? And she was like, I'm in my room. It's like, well, where's your room? And during this time, I'm thinking, we tapped into somebody's baby monitor or something.
Yeah.
Went outside, look, nobody around. Go back in, and the little girl took us to her room. And she was singing Ring Around the Freaking Rosie.
Hmm.
That was scary as heck. But we wound up going in there and nothing. Things were like moving, like I guess it was due to with the AC, whatever the little box on the ceiling was spinning. And then they had like these creepy animatronics that just started coming to life, and they're not even freaking plugged in. But I was wore out after all that. I went back to the mask room and put my head down, take a nap or whatever. Paula was resting. The other investigators were just, dumping footage and stuff that I told them to do. And when I woke up, I was just totally disoriented. My equilibrium was off. Come to find out where my head was a portal. It was a vortex or something. I've never really heard about that until I talked to a friend of mine that had dealt with this stuff. And he said, yeah, you were basically in the middle of a vortex. Once I got out of the building, I was fine. But go back to that area, my equilibrium's off. So we're like, okay, this is it. We're done. We're going to close up shop. We're getting ready. I packed up everything. I had an investigator go ahead and sage me. So I'm doing the T pose. And he's saging me, and he's like, dude, look at your fingertips. I'm like, what? And they were bloody. Kind of like my hands were like scraping on a stone wall, and it was just bleeding. And I'm like, oh, dude. So I'm like cleaning this off, and as we were leaving, I got clawed in the face.
Yikes.
And you could actually see it was drawing blood from like here on down on my nose. And we got all this on video. And you could see that I was bleeding. I got clawed. So after this happened, I talked to my friend again who told me about the vortex. And he said, you're going to need to go back. Now, anybody in their right mind would have said, no. So we were like, yeah, we'll go ahead. We'll go back. But there was a team that actually heard about what went on. They wanted to join us because I was like, they don't believe us. I said, oh, you're more than welcome to join us if you want. So we went back in. We had this other team with us. We went to the mechanics room. And boy, let me tell you, this was like a scene from Final Destination. Up against the wall is chainsaws and sickles and saws and machetes, just all right there, power tools. And we're standing right there. And I'm going, oh, this is an accident about to happen. And we're starting to, do EVPs. And I had one investigator sitting on the floor next to the workbench. I had thermal on her. And next thing you know, I could see her head go whack. Like somebody just pushed her head right into the table. And she's just like, oh my God, did you get that? I'm like, I saw something. So then she stands up and I still have the thermal on her and I see her get sucker punched. And I'm like, something's going on here. We've got to figure this out. So contacted my friend when I went outside and he said, dude, you need to look for stuff. You need to find a talisman. I'm like, oh, what? He's like, a talisman. Hex bags. So I'm like, seriously? He goes, yes. So we went looking around in that same area, and inside a little pipe in the wall, I found a hex bag. Sealed and everything. Then behind the stuff down by the workbench was another hex bag. And it just started getting hairier from that. There was a vase that was across the room, had weird writing on it. I couldn't understand it. She took a picture of it, sent it to her friend, and she's like, I don't even know what time that period that's from. And the team that was there going, okay, well, there's really not much happening here. This is probably all bull. As soon as she said that, 5-inch deep weld sockets were thrown at us.
Ooh, fun times.
The investigator that sucker punched and pushed into the workbench got hit in the back with a 7-inch piston. Yeah. And then there was this trunk that was on the floor. It was a footlocker. And we put the millimeter on it, and that sucker shot all the way up to 35 milligauss. The trunk. So we broke the thing open and found a pair of period, what was it? Knickers? It was a what? A skirt? It was a period skirt. Put the millimeter on it, still shot up. So shut that, and everything started going haywire. all the girls were getting upset stomachs. They were getting sick. And we had to get the girls out. We had to get the trunk out. And we took the trunk. Now, this is kind of unorthodox, but we had to do something. And we took a lot of backlashing and heat on it, but don't care. We cleansed the place. We put everything that we got into the footlocker and we set it on fire. It screamed. It was the most shriekiest scream we have ever heard, and it would not burn for at least 20 minutes. And then finally, it started burning, and we burned it to the ground. And ever since that, the place was quiet. Nothing ever happened there anymore.
So people doing rituals in that building while it was abandoned?
We're thinking 2 girls that were practicing witchcraft from another establishment came over and conjured something. I mean, they were playing with hex bags, and these were legitimate hex bags. You opened it up, and there was hair and fingernails. It was just nasty.
And people conjure things to get places haunted, for attraction, which is horrible.
Yeah, at least we got whatever was there out. I mean, it was unorthodox, but hey, whatever works. That's what I think.
Yeah.
If you want to get any EVPs, you can go to Patricia's place of business. We investigated it twice. Who asked that question earlier? She's got some stuff going on in her building. Nothing bad, but they do love to talk.
What's around the building?
Civil War stuff. It's a how old, Patricia? 135-year-old house, I think. Yeah, good stuff. Part of
so you're getting guy
plantation.
EVPs. You're getting guy EVPs and no females.
Oh, we got female, male, everything. Yeah,
from the 1800s.
Now, what's funny, Sandra said that when you were talking about old South Pittsburgh, we were driving through that way. I think that time we were going to Brushy Mountain, and Sandra's following Jerry and I, and she phones us and she said, "What's in your back seat?" And we're like, "Nothing." And she says, "I see somebody sitting there in your back seat." She could see their outline, and we're like, "Holy shit," But we think we picked up somebody for a few miles near old South Pittsburgh. She says, I see their silhouette sitting in your back seat. And I was like, well, it's just equipment back here. It was pretty freaky. So when we were driving back, coming home, we're like, oh crap, maybe we need to take a different route.
That's when you need to have a dash cam on the other car behind you.
Then we started hearing this talking in the back of the car, and I'm like, what is that noise? And our walkie-talkie had come on. It was in the case.
Yeah,
we couldn't make out what it was saying, but I was like, something is talking. And then when we got home, I found out it was the walkie-talkie.
Yeah, I've had that one happen inside the case, and there's no way it could actually go on. It's just sitting there. Yeah, I've had that happen. It started going off, and I'm like,
good times.
What is that? Yeah. But there was one thing that was, I think we were in Michigan, and I woke up from a deep sleep because it felt like someone slapped me upside the head while I was sleeping. So I thought maybe that was Paulo smacking me to wake me up.
You're snoring.
When I did, there was something brown that we almost hit. And I'm like, the hell is that? And when I looked back, it got up on its hind legs and walked.
Oh.
I think it was a skinwalker. I've actually seen one. It was big. I'm not going to say it was Bigfoot. I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
But it looked like a wolf at first. And we almost nicked the back end of it when we drove by. And when I went like this and I looked, I could see it. It ran across, and then it got up on its hind legs and walked off.
Jeez.
That was freaky because when we were in San Antonio, Texas, shooting for Truth or Legends in Your Hometown, we were dealing with a team, the San Antonio Ghost Hunters, and they actually have footage that they shot over at the Comanche Hill Lookout. And they swore up and down it was a deer. And I'm watching this thermal footage and I'm going, deers don't get up on their hind legs and walk. And they looked at it again and they're like, oh, Skinwalker.
Mm.
Yeah. We've actually seen
something I
video
don't
of
care
one.
to see. No thanks.
Yeah.
Just give me a plain old ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they had CCTV picture taken at this place called the, oh gosh, it's a Psycho Museum or something like that. I think it was a Psycho Museum or something like that. They turned it into a haunted attraction.
Mm.
But at the roll door on the back dock, you can see what appears to be, I don't know, a person, but you can see through his leg. Part of his leg is missing, but you can see his foot. You can see the waist, torso, part of an arm, half a face. And looking through all the footage, it's like a split second it shows up. And then it's gone. So there was nobody walking back there.
Mhm.
But we got the picture of this thing, and I'm just like, what is that? So, yeah, that was, I'm thinking that was a skinwalker too.
Mhm.
Creepy. I want to go to Skinwalker Ranch, but they won't let you.
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
YouTubers screwed that up for us.
Yep. Yep. Well, we have 5 minutes left. So, real quick before we start closing things down, is there anything you want to make sure you talk about, including letting everyone know where they can get your book and where they can find you and
my
what
book.
you have planned coming up soon?
Buy my book. Go to barnesandnobles.com and search for Gavin Kelly, and you can actually find the book. The second book is going to be coming out in September. I'm probably going to do pre-sales in August because I would like to have the second book when we go to Dragon Con.
Mhm.
We're going to be there August 29th through September 2nd in Atlanta, Georgia.
Mhm.
So that's a big con for us. So I want to have.
You'll have fun. I've done it a couple times. Yep.
I've heard horror stories too. So
a lot of people. Are you staying there in the hotel?
No, we have a hotel on the outskirts.
Okay.
We didn't want to have one there.
Yeah, take Marta in. Don't drive. Yeah. Take the train in.
Take the train in?
Yeah, our Marta, like our subway kind of thing. Yeah, because you don't want to drive down there.
Oh.
It's
I'm
easy.
being told you don't want to drive down there. You want to take the train in.
Yeah, it's easy to do. Because if you're on the X track, you'll be at the, is it the Hilton or not the Hilton, oh shoot, I forget the name of it. I know where you'll be.
Now, I know they have 5 hotels that they're running this thing in.
It's about 85,000 people, so you don't want to drive it in.
5,000 people.
Yeah, call me. I'll tell you what to do.
Okay.
85,000. Yeah, it's wild.
85,000.
85,000.
Oh my God, that's a lot of people. Oh
Yeah.
man, I'll be hitching a ride with Jared Padalecki then. Oh my goodness. But yeah, we're gonna be at Scarefest this year in Lexington, Kentucky. That's gonna be in October. If you ask me the dates, I have no clue. Also, is it October we're going to New Orleans?
Yeah.
Yep, New Orleans. We're going to Horrorpalooza in New Orleans, Louisiana in October. Basically, most of our stuff is in October.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be going to a lot of Paracons. You can also find, once again, you can find our show, Truth or Legends in Your Hometown, on Amazon, Google TV, Fire TV, Apple TV, Roku, Paraflix. Paranormal Journey into the Unknown is on Amazon. And pretty soon we're going to be across the pond in New Zealand, Canada, Dublin, Ireland, all those places.
You're not going to be able to go anywhere without getting mobbed.
Gavin Kelly's going to be a household name.
Yep. Get those likes up and the subscribers up, and you got it made.
I have a YouTube channel, but I got like 3,000 subs, but most of my subs are coming from classmates because I'm currently going for my bachelor's degree at Full Sail University, and I've got 3 more months, and I'm out of there with a bachelor's degree.
Good deal.
We put our assignments on YouTube, and they get seen by thousands of people on campus. Yeah. But anyway, go to my page on Facebook and check out the pilot for Unnatural. We call it Crossroads Motel. This is actually going to be a brand new series out. That's the pilot that we shot, and it got picked up. So we're going to be shooting 4 more episodes for it, probably the beginning of next year. And of course, personally for me, I'm going to be a director of photography for a movie called Blood Moon Massacre. We're going to be shooting that in Atlanta. And I'm also going to be producing a few other paranormal TV shows, not mine, but somebody else's. One's called Haunted Inc., and it's called The Ghosts of Abraham Lincoln. So that's going to be a really good one. So we've got a lot of that stuff going on. We're going to be shooting a movie called Among the Shadows. The star of it is going to be a guy that played in Walking Dead. He was part of the Saviors group under Negan. So we're going to be filming that sometime next year. And of course, we're going to be working on season 3 of Truth or Legends in Your Hometown with a bunch more states that we have not been to.
Cool. Keep them busy.
Oh, yeah. Always busy. People ask me, like, where do you find time to sleep? I go, what's sleep?
Exactly. Oh, well, perfect. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a definite pleasure, and I cannot wait to have you on that panel discussion in a couple weeks on a social media and paranormal.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Going to be an exciting one. Philip, did you have anything real quick before we go?
Nope. I'll discuss some fun things coming up in the next couple months, but we can talk about that later.
Right. And the only thing I have is Monday. This one's coming out. This book will be released Monday, and this is the book that Philip wrote the foreword on for me.
Oh, that's right.
So
yeah,
I am absolutely looking forward to this one. This is actually my thickest of all my books that I've done so far.
Oh.
So, and this was a lot of fun. This one covers everything from Ringling Brothers to I'm like, Spook Hill is in here because we actually went to Spook Hill, and it's a load of crap. But
how do you really feel about it?
It's one of the, I know. When you look at it in the photos I took, it looks flat.
Oh,
but when you're standing next to it, you can see it go uphill. But it's one of those hills where you put your car and there's this hole. And the legend, I found out where the legend came from. It actually came from a local hotel and bar that wanted to attract tourists.
Good for them. It worked.
So it's very interesting. It was a lot of fun writing that book. So I'm looking forward to that. And that comes out Monday, and it'll be on Amazon or at your local Florida bookstore.
Oh, cool. So, I thought about going to Amazon, but I wound up going to Barnes & Noble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is through History Press, and they put all their books up on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
So so that was a lot of fun, and thank you, Philip, for writing that book. Your copy will be on its way, or for writing the foreword. Your copy will be on the way. So thank you so much. But again, real quick, Oh,
I found the table of contents finally.
just now loaded.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ghosts we make, the electric hum of being, tools of the trade, false positives, the case files, the conjurers and debunkers. There's that one I was telling you about. The lure of the unknown, science at the frontier, the verdict, plausible but unproven, skeptic's torch. Ooh, that's a good one. Beyond the binary, science of suggestion, from the haunted house to the mind palace. Phantoms in our mind, ghosts of the machine, hunting shadows, and beyond belief.
Ooh, definitely have to get that book. And that's your second book, and that's coming out. You said you might release it for pre-sales in August.
Yeah, I want to do pre-sales in August, and it will be released full in September.
Okay, definitely. And we will make sure that we add I add all the contacts and everything on our YouTube once it re-airs after the live resets. And then we'll also get all of that on our Facebook page, and we'll keep everybody up to date with what is happening with you. So make sure you stay in touch.
I will. We even have a third book coming out too.
Ooh.
Yeah, but this one has nothing to do with paranormal. I mean, it does kind of, sort of, because everybody wants to be a filmmaker.
Yes.
So it's called, So You Want to Be a Filmmaker? Let me take you on a journey into your creative mind.
Oh, that actually would be a good one too.
Yeah, that'll probably be sometime next year.
Okay.
I got like 21 chapters on it.
Ooh, that's going to keep you busy with all of your conventions and filming. Yeah, you don't get any sleep.
No. I figure once I'm out of school, it's going to be on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah. And everyone in the audience, thank you for watching today, and thank you for your comments. Don't forget, you can catch the replays on Ghost Education 101, both on Facebook and on YouTube. And then you can watch us live every other week on Parallax TV on Facebook, or you can also catch it on our Facebook page. And again, if you want to listen to some of our older shows, you can go to Spotify, Amazon Music, and the other ones that Philip mentioned earlier that I'm like completely drawing a blank on.
Yeah, whatever, all their podcasting things.
And you can also catch 1 hour segments of the show live, or not live, but replay it on WDJY 99.1 in Atlanta on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. Now, in 2 weeks, I'm looking forward to this show. We are bringing back Steve and Chris from Transcend Paranormal for a presentation on historical context to form an understanding of location hauntings. So they're going to go into the history behind some of the stories on this. And I think he's also going to include some ways to do historical research to help back up the paranormal claims that you have captured. So that is going to be a fun one. Chris and Steve work well together in their presentation, so this should be a lot of fun. So, and then I know, just real quick, I know I wanted to do this. I looked it up. The panel discussion on how TV and social media has changed the paranormal, which Gavin will be coming back on, is actually October 9th. And on August 21st, we do have the Staticom gang, including Ron Iacovetti and Lourdes and everybody who's helped him with that. They will be coming on to share some of their evidence and discuss their recent activity. So
yeah, they get some crazy stuff with the Staticom.
Yep. So again, thank you everybody watching. Thank you again, Gavin, for joining us tonight. And Philip, I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Good night.
Night, everyone.
Night.